clothespin or butterfly? What do you think? Doesn't look like much of a butterfly right now, but just wait and see. All right, we're going to turn these two things, clothespins, into butterflies. Now, this one is just shy of 2 inches, and this one is just shy of 3 inches. I'll show you a little bit more on the larger one just because it's a little easier to see because it's bigger. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take it apart, right? Because that doesn't look like much of a butterfly body, right? So you see how this piece connects here, and then it goes and it stops here. So we want to take that, pull outward. So that just kind of one little motion comes right out. Next, you want to just pull off the other part. And then you're left with just a little clampy metal piece. We're just going to put that off to the side. Sometimes I save them, sometimes I don't. But basically, now we have our paper, I keep wanting to call it a paper clip. It's a clothespin, and you basically want to take the clothespin and you want to just reverse, put the backs, so this the flat sides together, right? Then look, magically, we have a head with an elongated body. What does that remind you of? You know, something like a butterfly or even dragonflies have the head with the long body. So this could work either way. Sometimes I do dragonflies with these as well, but they make perfect little bodies. And we'll do the same thing with the small one. The small one, you know, it's not as strong. Same thing, you just kind of put them together, and look, we've got little bodies. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take our bodies, obviously they're not together, we're just going to, our tacky glue, we're going to take the flat sides, you don't need a lot, just a little bit. I do recommend not using hot glue on these, only because when you do hot glue on these, it's gonna make the centers to where they don't come together, and it's gonna be more of a gap in between your pieces. But totally preference up to you, right? So that's glued. Gonna make sure the head kind of lines up versus the body part, and we're gonna set that off to the side and just let that kind of dry a little bit. Same thing with the large one. Couple of options. You can leave them like this, just the kind of a white, lighter color wood, or you can paint them, which I was thinking about painting, but I don't think I want to paint. I think I actually want to stain them. So that's our third option, is staining them. Or you could decoupage them too, or Mod Podge them if you want to. I mean, it might be a little bit tricky, but you could definitely do it. I'm going to use the Waverly Antique Wax, and we are going to stain them because I like the look of stained wood. That's just my personal preference. Anything wood, I like to put a little bit of a stain color on it. And these don't take much. It is a little hard to get in the grooves sometimes on these. And sometimes what I like to do on this is you get a brush. And you can brush it in the cracks and crevices and then wipe it out with the cloth. Or you can leave it extra dark. It's totally up to you. This is just a messy brush that I got from Dollar Tree. And it's just going to make it, actually it's going to make it darker on the outside than the inside. But I'm okay with that. I don't mind. Kind of like the look of that. We want to give them antennas. I have a Dremel that I use, but if you want, you can actually just glue the little antennas on instead of actually sticking them. Now I got the little antenna holes drilled. We're gonna take our wire, and this is a 22 gauge. This was actually gifted to me, so I didn't even I don't know where they got it from. It looks pretty old. Yeah, it's pretty old, but it's floral wire for the most part. And you can get wire anywhere if you can't find it at any stores. I mean, hardware stores you could go to, but even if you can't do that, you can order it online. You don't have to use this wire if you don't want to, though. You could definitely do like um, pipe cleaners would work too. But I'm going to stick my wire in the hole there, come out to a certain point, and we're just going to take our wire cutters and cut it off. And then I want to just, before I twist it off, I want to make them even. So we're going to stick our other one in here. Just going to make some even like so. Oh, maybe a little bit. All right. But before I get too carried away here, I'm going to take my glue and just kind of shove it in there. And that's going to just hold it in place. It's going to help hold them in there. Because they'll move around if you don't put something in there. So now, depending on how you want your antennas, like this is just straight right now, but I always kind of like, for some reason, I like taking, so I'll take my needle nose pliers, we'll just curve them. A little curvy. Like I said, they're going to get a little wild and crazy on you here, so bear with me just a second. Here we go. They don't have to be perfect. I mean, it's Mother Nature, right? That's not going to be perfect. Sometimes I like my stuff a little imperfect, but that's so cute though, you guys. Check out the little antennas. I like that. Super cute. So now we need wings, right? So I don't do a lot with lace, you guys. I really don't. But I do have lace. And this is from Hobby Lobby. The bottom came off for some reason. Not sure why. But I like the lace. And for doing wings, I kind of like the fact that it's scalloped. I like that just because it makes it to the wings not flat. But I mean, everybody's got their own personal preferences on what they like. So I want to go ahead and grab my scissors here. So it's got a big scallop and a little scallop. And I like the big scallop. So first of all, we're going to kind of even this out. So I want the big scallop. And when I want to make this the wings, I want I think I want to go up and use the other big scallop up here. So we're going to just cut it off at this point. So I've got 3 of the big scallops and 2 of the little ones. Now my process on this is, okay, we could go ahead and just glue it like this. It looks a little weird, right? So my thought on that is, let's make it look more like wings. So we'll go to the scallop's edge and we'll come inward like we're going towards the body. So we'll cut it at an angle. And we want to do the same thing with the bottom one, right? I want to come in to where it's coming into the, so that looks more like a wing, right? And then when you put it up against the body, how cute is that? Super cute. All right, so we want two because everybody knows that butterflies have two wings. So I'm going to just cheat a little bit here and line mine up with the scallops that are already here. And that way I can make them identical. Because for the most part, it looks, I mean, I know everything's not identical, but for the most part, like, the wings look identical when you look at butterflies. Anyways, so we're just going to take our little wings, like so. And look at that. Now we've got a beautiful butterfly, right? So now we just break out our glue here. We want the wings, first we want the wings to glue together so they stay together. And then put enough on here to just go behind its body. So cute. I love that. Absolutely. I put floss on these wraparound. Just makes it easier to use. But I was kind of thinking, I wanted to do a ribbon, but I think floss would look a little better because it's smaller or thinner. And I wanted to do a little tiny little bow. And I don't think I could get away with doing such a little bow with ribbon. But I wanted to see what it looked like before I did it. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Make it a little bit smaller. If you want to put a face on it, you could totally put a face on it. Like little dots for the eyes, maybe, and a little mouth. I would recommend like a little felt tip pen. Would probably work really good for that. Or the really thin like Posca pens or paint pens. How cute is that? That is adorable. So cute. And you could turn it into an ornament if you want. I was thinking about adding this to actually a background and making it a craft project. So that's the larger one. I want to do the little one as well. But I want to do a little bit something different. I'm not going to do a small bow on this because there's no way that's going to be too big on here. It's going to be teeny tiny. But I found these little polymer clay chips. These are in the Valentine's Day section. These are the Valentine's Day ones. But you can find these little chips. They're really popular right now. And they have these in, there's a little bitty white heart. Little bitty white heart. And I actually love that. And so I want to put this little itty bitty white heart on here. Because why not? Now you can't really see it really with the glue, but give me just a second. Let me wipe some of this glue so you can see it. I'm trying to cover up that little hole. It's kind of, there we go. That's perfect. Anything that's white glue will dry clear. Okay, so that's fine. It's a little crooked. I'm okay with that. Now, I can do a couple different things with this one. I want to give it different wings. I want to do different wings. And I was kind of thinking, look, we've got this lace, which is more like of a sheer. Again, it has the scallops, but it doesn't have little and big. It just has all big scallops, right? And so I was thinking, and if we kind of scrunch it a little bit, kind of gives it a little more dimension. That's kind of fun too, right? Might be a little bit harder to get it to stay on the body, but I kind of like where we're going with that. However, I think 4 scallops is going to be too big, so let's cut it back. Cut it back to 3 of the scallops. And again, I'm going to kind of cut it at an angle. So that looks fine too. And this one, so 1, 2, 3. And very similar. We're just going to do the same thing. Glue them together. And then glue them on our little body. Voila. And then if you don't like how the scallops are look, you can just cut it. It's easy enough. So freaking cute. These are adorable. And stay tuned. I'll show you what project I'm gonna put these on.